shines and does the moment life's about. It's quiet now, all I hear is raindrop, raindrop, raindrop.
It's a big hello and welcome back to Red and Black Radio for episode 2. I'm joined by head coach Zach Beer once again. And Zach, you challenged me last week to come up with a better backdrop. Give everyone an idea of where we are today.
Mate, we're lucky enough to be sitting here at North Shore Ford, our major sponsor for 2021. A couple of the players from the boys team and the Sirens have done a bit of a photo shoot with Gabriel on the team here. So, mate, you've trumped it. Looking forward to next week what you can deliver.
Yeah, well, it's certainly a high bar now. We've been in the Ranger, we've been in the Raptor, the Mustang, the GT, the whole shebang down here at North Shore Forward. So fantastic partner and a fantastic venue to be recording from. Zach, opening round on the weekend, Penrith out at Penrith. Tough away trip, big win. Satisfied?
Yeah, satisfied. I think the most pleasing thing was the scoreline. We kept them to 0. Also, we walk away from Emu Park with no injuries in first or second grade, which was really pleasing. So that was great to see. Yes, we laid on some great tries, but we also got some good pictures to take away of things we need to improve and work on. The boys and us as a coaching group have been hard at work this week in sharpening those things up before Newcastle this week.
Yeah, I wrote in the wash-up of all that you didn't have all your own way and defence got tested a bit. Were you happy with how that stood up and what other areas do you to look to improve on from the weekend?
Yeah, they can play some footy, the Penrith boys, mate. Like, you've got 6'6" Fijians, you know, who hold the ball out like a tennis ball and fend you off and can offload and play footy from anywhere right throughout the field. So they tested us, you know, and there were a couple of times there where they almost breached our line, but that desperation in defence and the defensive system that Matty Gordon's brought in has been really solid, and of course it'll be tested more and more throughout the year. But that was pleasing to see. I think the effort and the things where no talent are required were the things that really impressed us on Saturday. In terms of other areas, obviously the contact area, breakdown area, those sort of areas we'll look to sharpen up before Saturday.
A couple of strong debuts, Jeremy Burrell, James Turner,
yeah.
A few others that we photographed during the week. What do you make of their debut for the club?
Yeah, good. I think when you get given a Norths jersey, you got a responsibility, right? Yes, it means we believe you're up to it and that you're up to it, but you owe it to the jersey and everyone who's played in that jersey before you to really step up to the mark, and I thought those guys did. That game's behind us now, and it just means that that's the benchmark or the bare minimum of where those guys need to be at. Obviously JT had some really nice touches on the edge. I feel like he's at home now in a Norths jersey. I've seen him up at the Sevens and in the trial period there. So, you know, he's enjoying himself. He's really enjoying his footy in that back three with Reece and Maxi. And on the end of the back line, and was really pleased with Jez. He got some great feedback from the playing group as well in terms of his work rate. He's a tough bugger, and I think he's got a lot more growth in him in terms of his game as well. Yeah,
clean sweep out at Emu Park with in all 4 grades. The attention turns to the Hunter Wildfires Week, as we're calling it on social media.
Yeah.
Another challenge. They had a pretty one-sided first half with Sydney Uni and 4 back to win the second half. I think the end score 50-26. What do you make of all that?
Yeah, look, the Wildfires are a different team to the one that we played last year. I think as we said last week, like, they've recruited quite heavily. I think nearly their whole team is new recruits. In saying that, all of them have played pro footy or semi-pro footy somewhere. So look, they can play great footy individually, and as soon as they start to click as a team, which they did in the second half, they can cause some headaches. I had a good look at that game with the coaching group and the playing group on Monday night. What we saw was, you know, a number of really strong big ball carriers. They've got a good platform in terms of their scrum, strong pick and drive game close to the line. and when it clicks, and then some pretty quick, Pacific Islanders on the wings who can score tries from anywhere, and some crafty halves. So, mate, they'll be a very different Hunter team to the one we played last year. Their first game at home, and they'll definitely be up for it. So we need to be as well.
Yeah, first home game for anyone's a big one. We're looking forward to ours in a fortnight's time. On us for a minute, unchanged back line, 2 changes in the forward pack. Can you roll us through those?
So unchanged in the back line. We've just rotated Tyler Kearns into the starting side at tight head prop. With Panda, DeWalt Decker coming off the bench, and he'll finish a game for us. We've also got Dave Henaway coming back, who's a big in for us. Obviously, we penciled him in to start last week and had a bit of a back complaint. So Dave's back in this week, and it's been great to have his energy and sort of finesse with the footy around the group as well. And he'll be in the second row, locking the scrum down with Jeremy Burrell.
Dave Henaway, bit of an unassuming lock. There's not a whole lot of him, his slider frame, but has to be the best defensive line-out jumper in the competition. How important is that, and for Madge and SJ to come up with a good defensive line-out strategy?
Yeah, it is. I mean, like we were lucky enough last year. We finished the year with the number 1 defensive line-out. SJ did an incredible job in terms of analysing opposition lineouts and working on the finer detail there. You're throwing Brad Hamopo, Jeremy Burrell as well. You've got 3 really good defensive line-out jumpers there. That's important, particularly if you do, play a territory game and put heat at set piece time. So I think a lot of the opposition coaches would agree with me. Dave Henaway, whilst he's unassuming, mate, he's certainly one of the form locks in the comp.
Couple of debuts off the bench, and we've got another fresh bench in first grade. Jack Wetton joined the club with the Waratahs at the moment. What did he add to the team late in the piece?
Yeah, obviously he just came available to us late last week before Penrith. As he said to me at training this week, other than the Waratahs guys, everyone in Sydney he knows is from Norths. And he feels a really strong connection with the club. He wants to obviously springboard back into that Waratahs team. However, he's not just using this sort of journey and time with us at Norths as a platform for that. He genuinely feels a connection to the club. Really strong connection with Michael Smith, Smithy and him. We're in Canberra together in sort of the Brumbies wider squad. He brought in some professionalism, some great chat, but I think the most pleasing thing was he just really did his job, and that's what's important in our group. So he's on the bench. Brody Lieber, who we did name on the bench, didn't pull right through Thursday training, so he'll actually be on the bench this week and will come on towards the end of the game, covering the back row as well. Obviously DeWalt Decker on the bench as well, and Tom Bramley at 9.
Second grade, another a really strong victory, and a few guys came and did their job off the bench there. What do you make of the second grade side at the moment?
Yeah, look, a really harmonious group. Sean is doing a great job with that group. As I mentioned last week, we really try and train as a top squad and one group to bring that IP up as quickly as possible with the first grade team. When you've got the class of just running through that team, you've got Max Meyer in the front row. You've got Radford at 9. You've got guys like Huey Taylor, Matty Schofield, who's joined the club's been playing some good footy. Connor Winchester and these sort of guys, and a guy like Josh Patera at 15, who earned his bench debut in first grade as a result of it, just brings some real class to that second grade team. So they're a harmonious group at the moment. They're enjoying their footy. They've got a bloody tough test. Hunter's second grade team beat Uni on the weekend, I think 13-12, which looked like a pretty tough game. So excited to see what that group can do against tougher opposition.
Some other big scores around the grounds in round 1.
Yep.
What surprised you out of round 1? I'm sure the scoreline, Gordon Manley might have.
Yeah.
What else surprised you out of that round?
Yeah, look, round 1's always tough in terms of a yardstick to read. People can say the teams prep up to it or not. I think the real indication is what teams will do week 2. Do they bounce back and sharpen up or not? You look a couple of years ago, I think the Rats got beat 50-0 by Uni, in 2019, was it?
Yeah, made the final.
Made the final.
Didn't
against
lose after
Union.
that.
Yeah, didn't lose after that. So, you know, some teams will bounce back, others won't. I think the early season games are just about really nailing your fundamentals, not trying to be too pretty, doing the basics as best as you can, and it's really important for the players and, you know, to have extreme clarity in what you're trying to do as a group. And as I said, those things that don't require talent, they need to be done at 100%. So that's what we're trying to do, and just focusing on ourselves. Yeah.
As you said last week, you're not looking ahead of the week in front of you, and a big game up at Hunter this weekend. But quickly touching on the following weekend, our return to North Sydney Oval, it's going to be huge. The Bears laid down a marker, 4,500 against the Newtown Jets on the weekend. Have you got a message to our members and fans that we want to be bigger than that in a fortnight against Gordon at North Sydney Oval?
Yeah, as at North Sydney Oval, as Harry Bury's reminded all of us, it's not Bear Park. It's North Sydney Oval. On Sunday afternoon, we organised for all the top squad guys, partners and girlfriends or mums, to meet each other up at the Greens in North Sydney, which was a really good and sort of special moment for them. So they got to meet each other. But as we were all walking around North Sydney Oval, you could see the supporters of the Bears just piling into North Sydney Oval. Sunny Sunday afternoon, the hill was packed. You could smell the sausage sizzle as you walk past, and I think we ended up in a draw against Newtown. But yeah, we got a good. The bar's been set now for our supporters.
A big one, so we need a massive crowd out there. Circle the calendar, April 24. It's going to be a huge weekend. A big return to North Sydney Oval against Gordon, back to the Mortlock Trophy. But you can't take your eye off this one this weekend.
Exactly right. Yeah, two-hour trip up north to Newcastle, and we'll be doing everything we can to come away with that W.
If you can't make it up to Newcastle, Stan Sport is where you'll get it ad-free, on demand. The coverage was excellent last week. I was tuning in across a number of games. They're doing a fantastic job, and you're doing a fantastic job. Thanks once again, Zach.
Thanks, JB.
We'll see you next week.